name's Christina and you're watching Proud Bookline. And today I'm doing the Book Lover Survival Tag. And I was tagged by Emma from Emma Books. Thank you so much for tagging me. It totally made my week. And I'll leave Emma's video down below. You should definitely check it out before watching this. Anyway, the tag is really simple. It's pretty much you choose the books that you would take in order for you to survive while being stranded on an island, or the books that you would read while being stranded on an island. You're able to choose 5 to 8 books, and of course I chose 8 books. So today I'm going to share the 8 books that I would take with me. First up, I have Pippi Longstocking in Swedish by Astrid Lindgren. This book, or all of the books, but I'm taking this book. It's actually called When Pippi Boards the Boat. Is that even proper English? It probably isn't. This book takes place when Pippi, how do I even pronounce that correctly in English? When Pippi visits her father. And I just love all the Pippi Longstocking books. I probably wouldn't care which one I brought because these are my childhood. They make me nostalgic. I have so many lovely memories linked with Pippi Longstocking and her book. I have so many lovely memories linked with Astrid Lindgren. I visited the Astrid Lindgren world when I was younger. When I was younger, I always wanted to be Pippi because, well, I did not know any other redhead character. Pippi is hecka strong and she's a feminist and she lives by herself with her horse and her monkey. I'm not really sure how much better it can be, and I would never ever get bored with this book. I've read it like at least 10 times probably, and I read it really quickly. Maybe takes half an hour or something like that if I'm savoring every page. Right now, when I was younger, it took longer, of course. I just love all the Pippi Longstocking books. That's it. Next, I would bring The Book Thief by Markus Zusak, and I would bring this copy, which would be interesting because I've actually never read The Book Thief in English. I read it in Swedish, and it was actually the book that got me into BookTube because I searched for the trailer for a presentation in class. I wanted to make a presentation about The Book Thief in my English class, so I wanted to show the trailer. And I found Kat from Little Book Owl's reaction to the trailer. And then I found Christine, and then I found Natasha, and then my life spiraled. Like, it was good spiraling, but wow, I watched a lot of videos in a short amount of time. I still do that though, so. Anyway, I would bring The Book Thief by Markus Zusak, and I would bring this copy, not only because I haven't read it in English before, but this copy also has drawings, which the Swedish copy did not have. So it would be a new experience, although it would still give me all the feels from reading it when I was 13 or 14, because I read it before the movie came out. So I would still recognize the story, but I wouldn't recognize the exact wording, and it would remind me of a lovely time in my life when I found BookTube, because that was probably one of my happiest times. It would be an amazing read too, because I love these books. Up, I have More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. This book would, like always, or I've only read it once, but it broke my heart then, and I'm pretty sure it will break my heart this time around too. I love Adam's books, and this was actually one of the first books that I read because of BookTube. I read it during my first biannual bibliothon, so I would get lovely memories from this. I would get heartbroken. Like, if I'm stranded on an island, I'd probably already be kind of sad, so then I can just be sad because of Sadam instead of being sad of my situation. So, I mean, that's a win. And I really love this book. It was one of the first LGBTQIA+ P novels that I read. It was one of the first novels where the main character wasn't straight, so that was something new for me, and it was something welcome for me because I was certain of my sexuality back then, but I had never seen anybody not being like strictly heterosexual as a main character before, and it was just very nice to see a gay main character fall in love and live a life. And this was also the first time that I ever saw oppression depicted in a way where I could relate to some degree. Both of those aspects were something that I could relate to, and that was very important for me during that time. So I would remember that. And I mean, this novel is really amazing. I would be heartbroken, but still pretty happy about being heartbroken. Next up, I would bring Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, because this is my favorite Harry Potter book. I have lovely memories reading it, even though I read it after watching the movie. But it's just so lovely. It's a lovely conclusion. I would probably cry. If you haven't read Harry Potter yet, I suppose I won't spoil you, but you already know who dies, don't you? Anyway, I would absolutely cry, and I would just remember Harry Potter, and I would remember Harry Xmas to you, and I would have a lovely time reading it. And I mean, it's the conclusion, and I'm guessing that I'm not getting off this island. Like, if I'm stranded, and if I'm reading all of these books, and if I'm like without food and water, then I probably won't survive. Or will I? I probably won't. So like, then it's nice to conclude my life with a conclusion, I suppose. I don't know. If I have food and water, I mean, the conclusion is really great to a lovely series, so it will be lovely no matter what. Then I would read Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare, and this book is also linked to, I guess, my sexuality, I suppose, like my identity, because in this book we meet Mark, and even if we had Magnus before, we never saw Magnus like interact with females. That we did in the Bane Chronicles, but not really in TMI or in TID. But yeah, I just saw myself in Mark a lot more than in Magnus, and I actually came out to BookTube in my review of Lady Midnight, and before posting that I came out as bisexual to my best friend in real life. So this is heavily linked with coming out, and for me coming out has been a very great experience. All the people that I have come out to in real life have taken it very well, and I appreciated how they reacted, and it's not been a big deal. It's just been my identity and my sexuality, and that's nothing that's really a big deal for them to accept or to deal with. It's just something that, since the default is allo cishet, I have to remind and tell people that I do not fit the default, and that not fitting the default is okay. And this book really shows that, and it's probably one of Cassie Clare's best books. Lord of Shadows might actually be better, but I don't have as many memories linked to Lord of Shadows. Although I have some bad memories linked with Lady Midnight, because it was the first time I was ever spoiled for a book without my consent. I've been spoiled for like allegiance and things that I don't really care about, but this time I was spoiled without meaning to be spoiled, if that makes sense. So that wasn't fun, but I really love this book, and I would love to read it while being stranded. Or not stranded, but you know. Next up, I would bring Made You Up by Francesca Sapia. This book is a really fun, quick read about a schizophrenic main character, and it's about what's real and what's not real, and the main character Alex figuring that out. And I'm pretty sure that if you stay stranded long enough, you will probably hallucinate, so then it might be nice reading about a character that also hallucinates. But this book is really amazing. I really loved reading it, and I actually got it from being one of the winners of Emma from Emma Books Mental Health Awareness Week giveaway. So it has a lot of sentimental value to me. Therefore, it would bring back a lot of good memories. That's why I would bring it. Next up, I would bring The Princess Saves Herself, and this one by Amanda Lovelace, which is a poetry book, and it's basically poems that describe Amanda's life and all of her struggles, and I think it would just give a lot of inspiration and strength, and it would remind me of the battles that I've fought previously in my life and the ones that I'm currently fighting, and I think it would give a lot of hope, and it would probably remind me that I'm stronger than I think, and that's probably something good to remember if you're stranded on an island. And lastly, book number 8 is Not Otherwise Specified by Hannah Moskowitz. I know you're all very surprised right now, but this book was the first book ever read where the main character is both bisexual and she's in recovery from an eating disorder. This book heavily related to my own life and still is very relatable to me, and I really appreciate that it represents me. I also appreciate that the focus is not on the romance nor the relationships, like the sexual and like the romantic relationships. It's more about finding yourself and finding the positives and finding your own way to do things and not being put into boxes and labels, that you are your own ruler, and that's probably something good to remember if you're stranded on an island. And I mean, I love this book. There's nothing new about this fact, I hope. So yeah, the sun has almost gone down, so I guess I should probably stop filming right now. Those were the 8 books that I would bring to the stranded island, and I'm going to tag a couple of people. I will tag Maddie from Maddie Lee Reads. I will also tag Cav from X Reading Solace X. I will tag Gabby from Gabriella Pop, and I'll tag Jillian from The Green Reader. So you 4 are tagged, and if you're not tagged but you want to make this video anyway, you are now tagged. Thank you so much for watching. Your support means the world to me. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I love you all so very much. Have the best day / night / whatever pod is for you. Bye!